Welcome to DCC Road Crew Horror, where I will run a dozen zero-level peasants through a joyous wedding turned blood-splattered nightmare. The head of the groom, Master Hort Leddy, has been carried away by giant ants, and the party has agreed to go retrieve the head for a substantial reward. They have fought off animated vines and a wine press possessed by the late Brandolyn Vintner, whose head was crushed in that very press by her husband, and her remains turned into a prized wine. As we pick up, the PCs must decide how to continue, search the old abandoned house next to the winery, or shift the boulder blocking the entrance to a nearby cave. What path will they choose, and who will be the next to fall? Find out as we continue. They served Brandolyn Red.
The elves would vote for the house, but they'll go along. They'll help the move. At least two of them will help move the stone.
And dock worker will also help with the stone.
Okay, so you guys head back over to the stone. So once again, in this area, what you see is an enormous 10-foot in diameter blocks the entrance to the cavern. Looks like there are some recent footprints in the soft dirt before the Great Stone, and there seem to be fresh scratches on the stone's edge, and the dirt around the base looks recently disturbed. So, with everybody having tools and assisting, I'm going to give a +5 on this check. So who is the one that is going to make the strength check?
I want to make it clear that the outlaw is like, I don't need any of you. And she just puts the pole on there, does it herself
Okay.
to begin with.
That'll be a +2 on that check then.
Okay. That is a 16.
She puts the pole under there, begins pushing with all of her might, and the stone looks like it's about to shift a little bit, and then the pole snaps, and the rock goes back into its position.
She starts swearing. It's like, I don't know what to do now.
Can my dock worker utilize all the help and tools and things that were
Absolutely.
and give it a go?
Absolutely. So he uses his pole and works with the others, and a +5 on that puts you at a 16, which is just not enough.
God damn it. I'll burn 1 point of luck, if that's okay.
A 17 gets you really close, and I'd say there are 2 halflings in the party.
Oh.
I don't remember what their luck amounts are, but halflings can share luck. You would need 1 more. You need an 18 to pass.
Can my halfling moneylender spend another luck point then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, with an 18 and your combined efforts, you're able to roll this large boulder out of the way. Inside, the air in this dank cavern smells thick and ripe from fermenting fruit. Several wine barrels line the walls, and several dolia remain buried half in the earth. A few of the barrels have cracked and leaked their contents onto the ground, but a few seem to still be intact. Towards the back of this cave is a large earthen mound.
Yes, the moneylender will set about grabbing a few bottles of wine.
All right. As the outlaw is talking a bit of crap on her way in, you start looking around the barrels and things of that nature. You can find 3 of the barrels are cracked and dry, but 6 still seem to be intact. There's no bottles, they're more barrels. But
Okay.
one of the dahlias is labeled Brandolyn Red.
Oh, yes. Okay. How many would it take to carry this?
You could roll it and hope it doesn't break by yourself, or carrying it would probably take at least 2 people.
Okay.
think the halfling mariner, after seeing the name, he wants to take a swig. He just wants to take a swig.
Oh no, sir, no sir.
You are able
Please,
to get
please.
into it and take a drink.
Yep.
Try the other one. This is.
I know.
I'm gonna ask.
See the name.
I'm gonna
I want to
ask
try it.
right now. So that was the mariner, right?
Yes, the mariner.
Okay. Is anybody else gonna take a drink of this wine?
My moneylender is far too miserly. He really just wants to get the money off of it, the double price that was offered. So he's not going to drink any.
Okay. Anybody else at this time? This is your one chance to speak up.
No elves.
Okay. All right. So just the mariner at this time.
Just before he takes a swig, I want the minstrel to try and convince him to like, you shouldn't do this, man. This was a person at one point. You even know her name, and it's like, I want to try it.
I'll let you roll for both characters, and those are opposed personality checks.
No, I don't want him.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not going to actually succeed. You want the mariner to actually still, like, regardless, drink it? No problem.
Yeah.
So you hear the mariner or the minstrel trying to convince him to not drink it, but the mariner is set in his decision. Go ahead and roll me a d5.
And I want him to specifically say that that woman on the stone face was beautiful right before he takes a swig. You said D5?
D5, yes. A 1. You gain 1d3 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
3 temporary hit points. Feeling hardy.
Very nice.
All right. No one else would see that. You're just imbued with the 3 hit points, so no one else sees any reactions. You taste it, and it is the most exquisite wine you have ever tasted in your life.
The ecstasy on his face is very apparent.
You now get a sense why there were rumors that this wine had magical abilities.
Yes.
All right. As you are searching and drinking, suddenly you hear skittering coming out of the empty barrels as 2 giant cave centipedes reach up and attack.
Oh, God.
So with that, they are going to attack. Again, I'm just going to roll a d3 to see who they attack at. So somebody from red and somebody from blue. So again, it's going to be the elven artisan and the halfling mariner. And you should be at, there you go. All right, so the artisan and the halfling mariner attacks against both of you as these creatures come out. So versus the artisan first. That is a 13 to hit. I believe that does hit the artisan. All right, yes. So that is going to do a d4 of damage. Only 1 point of damage, but I do need a fort save from your artisan.
I clicked it. We'll click again. There it goes. Excellent.
Oh, yeah, plenty. You feel a poison starting to ink into your arms where this creature bit you, but you fight it off. And then versus the halfling mariner, as he's drinking the wine, he takes an attack as well. But that is only going to be a 7 to hit. So I believe that will miss. All right, with that, we are up to the top of the order. So if you guys haven't noticed, I just do table order. I've been used to playing like conventions and in person. I always just do table initiative. So from left to right, we're back up to blue. Your artisan is up, having taken 1 bite from a giant centipede.
Yes, the artisan will take his revenge. He'll attack with his staff. My dog just came downstairs and is attacking. Awesome.
Oh, the 2. You swing wildly and miss as the pain in your arm causes you to miss. All right.
We'll just go down the row with all the elves. We'll take attacks. The Sorbo with the navigator.
Okay.
Again, he likes to step back to give some distance because he's pretty Squishy. Oh,
A 9 will be a miss, so go ahead and roll me a d20. High, you miss completely. Low, you possibly hit your artisan.
All right. Just a regular. Where's the 20? It's that 30, 20. Go to another. That'll do.
Hey, and I'm going to go ahead and give you an Elven Barrister. That's blue. You're going to go ahead and gain a fleeting luck there for that one. All right. All right, so you fire, and it goes wildly, just misses off into the distance and shatters against the cave wall. All right, your Barrister.
All right. Yep, he will throw his quill.
That is a 16. Is going to hit for a point of damage.
He's got 1 fleeting luck. Can he just burn that to double that, to put another point of damage on that?
Absolutely. 2 points of damage to this creature. All right, up to the Halfling Mariner.
He will yell out that he's been blessed by Brandolyn Dragontear and run at the thing with his knife.
All right, with a 17, you kill the one that attacked you. Just outright stab this creature right through its mandibles, and it drops to the ground dead.
The minstrel, in his bit of distraughtness, he grabs his knife and throws it at the other creature.
All right. Ooh, 3 is going to miss. That is throwing into melee, so go ahead and roll a d20 as well.
Oh, okay.
An 8. All right, roll another attack with your dagger as you throw it.
But it's a miss, right?
You missed the creature, but because it's in melee with another creature, you're going to possibly hit the artisan.
Oh, I thought you had to do the AC for that as well.
You re-roll the attack. All right, with an 8, I believe that misses the artisan, so it misses completely. Yep. And you hear your dagger ting off of the stone wall and then drop to the ground and skitter to a stop.
The outlaw just wants to kill something because she's very frustrated at what happened with the stone very shortly earlier, and just runs at the thing with her sword.
Prove her might, but with an 8, she is unable to prove her might in that attack, and she misses. Yep. All right, our dock worker and moneylender.
Worker will attempt to whack it with a staff.
And a mighty staff, dealing 4 points of damage. You hit this creature, and the artisan is suddenly splattered with the ichor of this creature as it just explodes in front of it. And you have killed the second of the giant centipedes. And you are out of combat.
Thank God.
All right, so you've tasted the wine. Again, there are 6 wine barrels here. The 5 of them look like they're more of a mundane type of wine, worth probably about 25 gold pieces each. And the one of Brandolyn Red is worth 75 gold pieces. Or double to Whitegrass, as he's told you he would pay twice that amount. All right, they are big, so it takes 2 people to carry. And again, at the back of this cave, you see this large earthen mound, kind of like a giant anthill.
We need to get the head first, because the elves, that's our custom. But we can get the wine on the way out. I'll help you guys carry it.
So, is this mound big enough for a person to crawl into?
Looks like it would take some time to climb up. So what you see is tracks of the insect men cover the surrounding area and lead into a large mound of soft earth, approximately 40 feet in diameter, rising 20 feet in height. 8 different paths made up of strange claw marks wind their way up the hill, crisscrossing over each other until reaching the summit. The entire area has a very strong odor of sulfur with a slight tinge of garlic.
my guys, before they want to go in there, they'll want to get some wood lying around and make like a makeshift torch.
Yeah, I could say you absolutely could do that.
And if nobody else wants to take the lead, they will.
All right. So start climbing your way up the mound. So who was that leading the way?
The mariner.
The mariner. Okay. So for the mariner, your luck is a 10. So I will need you to roll me a D8. You follow a path and are able to make your way all the way up to the top rim of this mound and can look down inside and see that, like, basically on the inside, it looks like a ton of tiny little handholds. You can see that you could basically use to climb down inside, and it is pitch black inside.
Well, out of the three of us, the front one, not the front one, the minstrel will throw his torch down to get a bit of view. Do we see anything?
All right, as you drop it down, it looks like this goes down maybe, again, 30 feet or so, because the mound itself is about 20 feet tall. This looks like it goes down about 30 feet. As it hits the ground, you can see that at the bottom, it goes off in at least two directions out of sight. But you do not see anything moving.
Okay. With that knowledge, I'm going to have the outlaw provide as much light from the top as possible, while the halfling mariner goes down.
Okay. Did the outlaw follow the same path as the mariner?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So they get up there, and the mariner is able to climb his way down inside. So the vertical tunnel descends roughly 30 feet down before eventually opening into a cramped earthen burrow. The pungent, acrid smell of the insect men's trail make your eyes water. As you wipe your eyes, you nervously realize the constricted tunnel will force many of you to go single file.
The minstrel makes his way down as well.
Okay. All right. You're all able to get inside. What is everybody else doing?
Go
ahead.
Is the torch that he threw down, is that still lit?
Go ahead and give me a luck check. It seems like once it hit, it stayed lit for a moment and then burned out.
Okay.
All right. Blue, what are our elves doing?
Yeah, the elves will follow. They don't want to break. Artisan's going in front, but he's a little more skittish now after that last hit, so he's not as brave. But yeah, they're following along with Mariner.
Okay. And then our dock worker and moneylender?
So I'm not sure how annoying this is, but my dock worker's sort of nervous about this. He says, "Oh, maybe we should grab some of those shovels and weapons and things from the barn before we head down here." Do you think he could run out quickly and pick up like a shovel or something from the barn outside?
Absolutely could. In the time
Because
that...
at the minute he only has a staff, which is C4, and I'm hoping to have something, just anything that's better than that.
Yeah, I could say you could find something that would work as type of a makeshift spear that would give you a D6.
Ooh, very good. Let's call it a pike. Or no, not a pike. What do you call those? A pitchfork?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you could definitely find a pitchfork.
Okay.
So, with that, though, in the time that you're gone, you won't see the path that the rest of them took to get up to the top. So
Sure.
your dock worker has a current luck of 7.
Oh, okay. Yes, good. Yep.
With a luck score of 8 or lower, the path that you choose turns out to be trapped. As you're making your way up,
Oh, no.
I need a reflex save.
Oh, God.
And that is not enough. You will take 1 point of damage. As you're making your way up, you step on something that feels soft, and all of a sudden that soft seems to pop, and as it pops, this acrid liquid explodes up on you and burns your leg as this acid that this ants have left behind pops and encases your leg, burning. But you are able to make it the rest of the way up. So it takes 1 point of
Freelander
damage.
follow him up. Not get hit by that.
Following along the same path, I will also need a reflex save from him.
Okay.
But a 15 is enough. He sees he's about to step on one of these bladders, just notices out of the corner of his eye, and steps around it. So it seems like there's at least 2 on the way up, but you guys both make it up to the top of the mound and are able to make your way down inside as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And then my half will move to the front of, put the dock worker behind him.
All right, with that, you guys find yourselves inside the tunnels. So from where you guys currently are, you start making your way through the tunnels. They are very cramped. You have to, other than the halflings, everyone else has to kind of hunch down a bit. And you start making your way through. As you come through, the first thing that you find is a chamber contains 8 translucent cylindrical pods, each about 5 feet in height and 2 feet in diameter. At their widest point, as you approach them with your light source, you see they're made of some sort of waxy material, and each pod contains something vaguely humanoid in shape.
Well, since the halfling mariner is a bit of a brave fellow, he walks up and he tries to see if the waxy stuff on these pods is flammable.
Putting up your fire towards the pod, while it seems whatever this is preventing it from catching on fire, this waxy type of material seems to be at least somewhat flame retardant.
Saying that, let's see, does he have one? Yes, he has a knife. So he would like to use his knife to cut off a bunch of the wax and put it in his satchel. Wait, no, what's a sailcloth?
Basically a small sack, yeah, not a problem.
Okay,
so he starts to
that.
cut into it, and as he cuts into it, suddenly this mucousy liquid starts to leak out of it, and a limp human arm and hand come flopping out of it, motionless.
Seeing this, the minstrel cries in shock, and the mariner's like, "Oh, fine," and he starts digging out whatever was in there.
So he cuts it open further, and he's able to pull out what looks like a human man. They appear to be dead. Looks like they've been stored here for some reason.
Can you tell how long he's been dead?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check. You can tell it looks like he wasn't just killed. He's probably been dead for at least a little while, maybe a couple days at least, but you're not 100% certain, as you're not sure what this liquid, whether it was keeping them from decaying or what, but the body is very cold to the touch.
Well, the elven mariner, not the elven mariner, the halfling mariner will carefully check this liquid to see if it's also flammable. And the minstrel and the outlaw will start slowly cutting open these pods one by one, just to be safe.
All right. Each pod contains a similar humanoid, couple men and women. Looks like, looking at them, possibly you recognize one or two of them from passing, either from town or from a nearby town. But they all seem the same, be dead and cold to the touch, so they've been dead for at least a little while. And the oil, it's the oily kind of liquid inside is kind of like a mucousy liquid. Does not seem to uh, at least be flammable necessarily.
That's it. And when they're done, they just start looking around.
All right, you see from the area that you entered in, there are two other tunnels that lead out of this chamber that you're in.
Do we see any indication that the elves are still looking for the head of the party or the groom, right? So like all these bodies had heads, right? There's nothing to show us.
Yeah, all these bodies looked fully intact. It looks like these people were most likely killed, brought here, and cocooned for some reason.
Yeah, they'll just kind of express that they're not really sure how that helps them choose the tunnel, but if not, then they'll just go right. I vote right, but I don't know if that's true.
Actually, before we leave the tunnel, I guess the minstrel will suggest to the rest of them, because they're different families, they should. Wait, are they decapitated?
No, these bodies are not decapitated. These bodies are intact.
Okay. Well, he's going to suggest that everyone take a close look at these bodies to see if any of them are missing people from different families.
Yeah, I was going to check actually and see if I recognize any of the faces.
Yeah, looking at them specifically, none of them look like they were anybody that was at the wedding. None of them look like your families specifically. They definitely look as though they are either from the town or maybe the next town over. But not any immediate relation.
Yeah. They don't look related to any of the Vintners or I can't remember
Nope.
Dragon Tears, yes.
Yeah, none of the current families here. The Whitegrass, the Leddys, the Vintners, or the Dragon Tier.
Well, the halfling mariner says to everyone that we should push on. The outlaw agrees, but then the minstrel says, shouldn't we at least, if we don't have time to bury these folks, shouldn't we at least cover them? Bare minimum. He says it's to everyone.
Yes, I think that yes, you're right. We should at least honor their deaths. And we'll the halfling, well, the dock worker will start using his pitchfork to loosen up some soil and scatter it over the remains.
Yeah, I could say you could spend a bit of time doing that. The earth under here is relatively soft in places. So it'll take you a bit of time, but you are able to at least give them a very, very shallow kind of just covering of dirt to at least, not leave them open to the elements.
Yeah. With this, the minstrel is heartened, is I think the word. And the halfling mariner isn't bothered because he's still drunk, he's still happy, and he's ready to push forward.
All right. So, Blue, I think you had spent your fleeting luck, so I'll just leave you at 1. Everyone's going to gain 1 fleeting luck for doing that to cover up these bodies and not leave them just behind.
Yay!
All right. So you guys begin making your way through the tunnels again, single file, making your way through. You finally come to another chamber. So this chamber seems to be basically you come out of, I'm going to say, the left side of this large chamber, and there are 2 other or 3 other exits out of this chamber. It's much larger. There seems to be a rise, kind of a hill, and at the top of that hill there's another chamber that leads out the back. And from the top of that chamber, 3 ants are going to attack. They're going to basically go up on their hind legs, and you see them do that same kind of motion as they begin filling their mouths with this acidic spit, and they are going to spit at the front person in each party. So first versus blue, and these guys get additional bonus as they are on high ground. So our artisan is able to dodge out of the way as this sulfuric, rotten egg smelling acid is squirted at him. Then versus the mariner. Ooh, that one's going to hit. That's going to be a 19. And that is going to do a d5 of damage. 3 points of damage to the mariner. And then versus our moneylender, the acidic spit will
That hits.
just hit. Doing 5 points of damage. So
No!
the artisan dodges out of the way. The halfling mariner takes a hit of the acid, burning across his shoulders and his arms. And then the moneylender, unable to get out of the way, the acid basically hits him straight in the face and goes down his neck and chest. And you see him turn to the party as his skull is becoming visible as the flesh is melting away. And he tries to let out a scream, but nothing comes out as he then collapses to the ground. And you hear sizzling as his flesh is melting away.
God. Yeah, he's dead.
All right, not too bad. Only 3 deaths so far. All right. With that, you guys are at the bottom of this little hill. There is an exit on the opposite side of the cavern, 2 exits on the wall to your right, and then at the top of that hill, there's a cave that leads out the back. And then 3 ants up at the top of that hill.
Blue first.
Blue first, yep. You're up. Your artisans.
Do we attack or do we run?
You can see a blood trail leading up the hill.
He's gonna attack. Yeah, he'll go. Artisan will go in first, screaming something about the mariner, probably getting his name slightly wrong, and then attack with his staff. Yeah.
All right, trying to charge up the hill. You lose your footing a little bit, so your attack comes in short, missing the ant.
All right, and then we'll do the others. Navigator will hide behind something and fire a short bow.
All right, with a 16, you are able to hit, doing 4 points of damage to one of the ants. And with
then
that is enough. That arrow goes straight into its head and takes it down. The barrister, letting loose his quill, hits the ant to its side, doing 2 points of damage.
And then for the halfling.
All right, our other halfling, our mariner, you are up.
He's angered. He's covered in burns, but he's more sad about his fellow halfling going down. So he just charges up the hill.
All right, a 14 for 4 points of damage, and you take out the second ant.
Lovely.
That smell of garlic becoming a bit stronger in this room. All right.
I think the minstrel will reluctantly go up as well and attack with.
Attacking with his dagger, going up. He trips and falls on his way up. Wasting this action, you are prone and must use your action to stand next round. So he goes tumbling back down the hill.
Lovely. Well, the outlaw looks at the minstrel and says, "Come on, can't you do one thing right?" He said, "I'll finish this myself."
A 14, you will indeed finish this. As you go up the hill, the minstrel comes rolling back down. You leap over him as he goes tumbling down the hill. Landing and charging up, you bring your short sword up and slice off the head of the third ant, and it goes rolling down the hill. And as the minstrel goes to get up, the ant's head appears right in front of him. But you are now out of combat. You've taken out these 3 ants. All right. right, the exit out the back at the top of the hill remains there, and again, you had 3 other tunnels leading out of this main chamber, other than the one you came in from.
If you said there's a blood trail, the elves are going to follow it. Now, after seeing because seeing the pod people, like he's ready to get them out of there.
The halfling man agrees and moves forward.
Definitely. So you follow the tunnel at the top of the hill. Everyone makes their way up and begins moving that direction. So from here, with a mixture of caution, tension, and fear, you approach the largest cavern thus far encountered. You realize that this is the chamber of the Ant Queen, and it is, not surprisingly, bustling with activity as several Ant-Man drones scurry about. The Ant Queen herself, however, seems to have undergone some horrific trauma as the creature's head has been removed from its body, leaving sickly trails of ichor still pumping from its thorax. The Ant-Man drones are attempting to revive her by popping open mucus-covered pupae eggs and blithely attempting to attach the younglings onto the bleeding stump where the queen's head once was. And on the opposite side of this chamber is another tunnel.
Is that our friend's head?
No, you see basically the large ant queen, and then the worker drone ants are basically popping open what look like egg sacs, taking the pupae out and trying to put them in place of the queen's head for some reason, as if they think it will revive her or save her.
For
Seeing
a horrifying moment, I
the
thought there-
halfling man will grab his satchel. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
The halfling man will grab his satchel with the flammable wax, and he'll throw it at the Ant Queen. Agility check.
Throw it at what?
Throwing the satchel with the flammable wax stuff
Okay, what is he throwing it at?
at the Ant Queen.
At the ant queen. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and make an agility attack.
Wow.
Oh, that's a sad fumble. Almost a fumble.
You throw it, and as you go to throw it, it seems like the sack comes loose, and you basically just flail that waxy stuff into the air, and it kind of just hits the ceiling of the cave and splatters and kind of rains down on you guys a little bit, but does no damage.
Does that mean everything is covered in wax now?
Everything has a small little splattering of little globules of some waxy material.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else doing anything in this chamber?
No, the elves don't really want to touch the wax, and I don't think doesn't seem like there's anything important enough for our quest.
Yeah, and the ant drones seem to be ignoring you and doing their work, trying to save their queen. But as you guys are, in this area and start, trying to investigate and see what's happening, suddenly the pupae that the ants are bringing out of these eggs begin squirming in your direction. So with this, as they start squirming in your direction, I'm going to start with Purple this time, since he didn't get to turn last time. So the dock worker, you are up.
I don't fancy his chances. Though, what size are these pupae? Are they're smaller than the other ants?
They're smaller than the other ants. You can contribute these to being basically rat-sized.
Okay. I guess he's just gonna try and spear a few of them with his pitchfork.
Okay.
So, let's say roll.
Well, a 7's not quite going to do it. As you go to stab at a couple of them, a bit nervous, you stab too early into the earth and miss short of the pupae crawling towards you guys. All right. With that, then, Blue, you are up. What are the elves doing?
All right, it took them all day to figure this out, but the navigator's going to go first with the short bow before the artisan runs in there. And then he'll start with So because you were attacking, well, you were attacking one of the ants, right?
He was attacking the pupae. So the ants are doing their, like the drones, they're just doing their work, trying to revive the queen. But the pupae that they are bringing out of these egg sacs and putting in place of the queen's head are moving on their own, as if they look hungry. They're moving towards you.
Okay, yeah. I shoot first, ask questions later. Oh.
2
Not with
or
that.
4 total. You hear a shattering arrow on the backside of the cavern.
Alright. The barrister will throw his quill as well.
That will hit one of these creatures, and it will kill one of the pupae.
Nice.
And the artisan, I guess, yeah, he'll go up, you know, and if there's another pupae in, he'll hit it with his staff.
Yeah, there seems to be about 5 of them coming your direction, so 1's gone down so far.
Alright. And now he's grossed out, the staff's got...
With a
stuff on
16, that definitely hits, and you splatter another one as it pops, leaving a garlicky smelling ichor all over your staff. All right. That puts us up to our Halfling Mariner.
The Mariner, he's not going to lose his braveness at this point. He's going to run up and start stomping and stabbing at whatever pupae he can find in front of him.
All right. A 9 is just enough. That is the AC. And 6 points of damage. He splatters one as well, and it pops under the heel of his boot.
Lovely. The minstrel will essentially do the same thing, but a lot more clumsily.
All right.
Oh,
A 15 is absolutely enough as well. He stomps on one as well, and 2 points of damage is all you need to kill these little creatures. Another one down.
And the outlaw will follow suit with her short sword.
All right. With a fumble, your incompetent blow makes you the laughingstock of the party, but otherwise cause no damage.
Oh, I'll take that.
All right. With that, the last one will get an opportunity to attack. There is 7 of you in total, so I'm just going to roll a d7. Top to bottom, left to right. That makes the minstrel the one that is attacked. And with that, there is no bonus on that attack. It is only a straight d20 for a total of 12. I believe that hits the minstrel, and he does... that is only a d2 of damage, so I'll roll that and divide by 2. That's going to be the 1 point of damage. Or sorry, no, that'd be 2 points damage. 1, 2 is 1, 3, 4 is 2 points damage. So 2 points of damage to the minstrel, leaves him with 1. All right. With that, we're back up to our dock worker.
Yes. So the dock worker is going to attempt another jab with a pitchfork.
All right, a 10 is plenty. This time he's steadied himself. He's gauged the length of his pitchfork, and he stabs into this one, pinning it to the ground. It squirms a little bit before going limp, and all 5 of these creatures are down. But the ants, you can see, are grabbing more of them and taking more of them back up to the head of the ant queen. You want to stay and fight some more, or head through one of the tunnels?
Yeah. It seems to be a never-ending supply.
Yeah, you see probably a good 50 to 60 additional eggs in this chamber.
Mm-hmm. And what about that flammable wax? Is it currently covering... Where is it?
It kind of just splattered in all sorts of directions. So there's some on the walls, some on, a couple of you guys, some on, the ground around you.
Hmm. Well, I think we should leave them to it, because I don't know if we can take on 50 of these guys at once.
Yeah, they're just 2.
There are several of the ants, like it looks like 3 of the large ants, and they're currently, still going back and forth, grabbing more of these pupae and taking them to the top of the ant to try to replace its head. But there's like
I mean,
30 eggs.
My guys kind of want to take out the workers.
I wonder, is there something that we could set down and that would the worker would put it on top of the queen and it would. I don't know. I don't think we have anything, but I'm just imagining some kind of.
Yeah, like
object.
some poison or something, right? Maybe the alcohol or something.
Yeah, barrel of wine. But it's all the way up there, so I don't know if that's gonna work.
But the elves also want to point out that we're not being paid, right? We're here to retrieve the head.
Yeah, you'll be paid
That's
for
pretty
retrieving
cool.
the head, and you'll be paid for retrieving any Brandolyn Red. And then Whitegrass also said that he would pay you for any other remains that you happen to find while you're here. And double for any Brandolyn Red.
Did he specify like family remains, or would the any remains with the limp figures in the pods in the previous room? I wonder.
He said remains. He did not specify a specific.
Well, okay, that's good to know.
Very funny.
So
Yeah.
we might take I might return with one of those strange corpses.
But something we could do is we could cover like one of the pupae that isn't completely destroyed in like
Yeah.
fine wax, and then just carefully roll it over. Maybe they'll grab it, maybe they won't.
That's true. Yes.
I could say you could do that. So go ahead and.
Dock worker is going to help with that. He's going to smear this wax all over an
Alright.
egg.
The last one that the dock worker killed just had, a puncture wound. It didn't get stomped on and splattered, so that one's still in pretty good contact. And then again, there's like 30 to 40 additional eggs in this room.
Yes. Okay, well, we're going to try and do that.
All right, so one of the eggs or the one pupil or pupae that's not completely destroyed.
My dock worker's going to try and do it with the pupae first.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say you easily enough are able to scoop up some of that waxy stuff and put it all over the dead pupae. And
It's like a turkey. He's getting into the where he stabbed it. He's getting in there and he's stuffing wax into it. It's making it really full of like flammable stuffing wax.
all right. You then take that and I'm assuming place it in the path of one of these ants.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So then the dock worker, go ahead and give me a luck check to see if the ant goes for it.
No. Does maybe hold on? Sorry, Dragon. Does one of your characters want to move it up there? Someone who's feeling lucky, because my dock worker is feeling very doomed. He has this feeling of he has shit luck, basically.
Nothing's going right for me today.
Well, I think the halfling mariner, once he gets this sympathetic look from the dock worker, he's like, yeah, I'll go over. And so he carefully walks over, puts it in the way, and
One of the giant ants, you place it there and back away, and one of the giant ants goes over towards it, uses its mandibles to kind of push it around a little bit, and then seeing that it is motionless, moves on and goes and grabs another pupae.
well, I tried. Anybody else?
Oh, jeez. Well, oh god, I'm wondering now. So my dock worker is going to try something totally outrageous. He's just been hit with a bolt of inspiration from I don't know where, and he picks up the thing himself and he tries to walk over towards the queen. But he's walking in a jerky, insect-like motion. He's trying to pretend to be an ant, and he's going to try and just plop it on top of the head of the queen.
All right. Go ahead and give me a personality check for your ant-like motions.
Yeah,
You
there we
feel
go.
like you're doing a good job, but as you approach, the ants seem to turn towards you and see you approaching their queen and become angered. So
No,
with that, we are going to be into initiative. So going back to the top of the round, the ants have started moving towards the dock worker, who's up at the top of the ant's body. So the elves, you are up.
Hold on 1 second. Can someone else go first? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. We'll move on to the halfling mariner and your party.
Let's see. The minstrel will throw his dagger at one of the approaching ants.
And your dagger will skitter across the ground.
The halfling he'll run up and intercept one of the ants, also missing.
He too goes up and tries to slice at one of the ants, missing.
The outlaw seeing that's finally her time to shine, takes a swing. Please don't be a fumble.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'm the only one who's fumbled this entire game.
Oof. All right. This time your weapon is damaged. Your
No.
short sword hilt falls off. The weapon can be repaired, but it'll take 10 minutes of work, but is useless for now. So you've lost
Good thing
your
I can
weapon currently. So these ants, as you go up running, trying to defend the dock worker, they all seem to just kind of put out their legs and knock you back. Your weapon hitting the ground and breaking. All right, dock worker. These 3 ants are starting to make their way up towards you.
Yes, he's going to punt one of them with a swift kick. Can I do a strength check?
Yep.
Oh,
An 8, not quite enough. As you go to swing at one, it knocks away your attack, landing harmlessly. All right, is Blue back? Is our elven party back yet?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll start with the artisan. Will run in and defending the dock worker, whatever ant seems to be oppressing him with his staff.
A 9 will be enough, and 4 points of damage is enough to finish off one of the ants. So
Excellent.
1 down, 2 to go.
All right, the navigator will shoot his short bow, hopefully not into melee.
They haven't
with
attacked.
5.
They haven't attacked yet, so not into melee currently. Now that'll be 7. Will be a miss. As again,
And then
this time the arrow sticks into the dead queen's body.
Nice. And then the barrister will pick up the single quill that he just keeps throwing and picking back up. It's quite disgusting now. And he fires it again. Well, yeah.
Oh man, the extra weight of the goo and ichor that is kind of stained to this thing is just giving him that confidence to fire with accuracy. 16 definitely hits, doing 4 points of damage, and you finish off the second ant.
All right.
All right, the third ant still alive. It gets to attack. Oh man, versus the dock worker, so the guy who went up to the top of the head. All right, that is going to be no additional on that, so just a straight D20 attack. A 10.
it hits.
That hits, and that will do a D6
It's enough to kill him.
6 of damage. Let's see if it's just enough or an overkill. A little overkill. So 5 points of damage. And our dock worker goes down as well. All
Ouch.
right. Up to the top of the round. We're back up to the elven artisan.
All right. He'll scream out for revenge, and he'll strike with his staff again. $13.
13 hits, doing 4 points of damage, and the third ant goes down. As you come out of combat, you hear a motion behind you, and coughing and sputtering, and covered in dirt, one of the bodies you buried seems to have regained consciousness and has made their way into this cavern, searching out the sounds and voices that sounded humanoid to them. A bit confused, doesn't know what's going on, but has joined the party.
Yes, and we'll pick up the fellow's pitchfork.
All right. So now everything seems to be quiet and motionless in here. Still quite a few of eggs. You can see that some of the eggs kind of have some motion inside of them, as if whatever pupae is in there is ready to be hatched, but nothing bursting out at this time.
Are we in combat?
You're out of combat.
Well, taking this opportunity, the minstrel is going to run over to the dock worker and just do whatever you possibly can to attempt to revive the dock worker.
All right, go ahead and just give me a luck check as you try to roll the body.
Oh, I was hoping you say intelligence.
No, you roll the body. He is dead as dead. In fact, when the ant bit down on him, it like severed. You can tell like half of his neck, so his head is like nearly headless Nick, just hanging on.
I tried.
Appreciate it.
From here, you see one more cave leading out the back of this chamber, and hear a bit of noise coming from there.
Okay.
The elves are feeling pretty indestructible, so they'll go in, the artisan will go in leading the pack.
All right, leading the pack in cautiously. And I'm going to read this word for word, and when I get to certain words, you'll understand why I'm telling you I'm reading it word for word.
So before you continue,
Okay.
Caution. Okay, go ahead.
are we going to burn the ant queen before we go to the next room?
Wouldn't mind, yeah. Just before we move on. Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely can do that. You can spend some time trying to put some more of that waxy, oily stuff all over the eggs, all over the queen, and light this entire chamber ablaze.
Yeah.
You feel the heat and stand there, and you hear like pop, pop, squealing and popping and squealing as the eggs all seem to start popping from the burning, and everything in here seems to be dying and destroyed.
Because the halfling is a brave fellow, can he just like use his knife to cut off some of the cooked ant queen and chow down on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Takes a bite of that. Go ahead and give me a fort save.
Wow.
You see him go up and cut off a piece of the ant hide and take a bite out of it, chew it, swallow, and then immediately run to the corner, bent over, and start hurling onto the ground. I'm going to say for that, you lose 1 stamina, dropping you down to a 4.
Yeah.
All right. With that, you are good to move on.
Yep.
All right, so making
Follow
your way
the-
in, cautiously,
Yep.
you descend deeper into the cavern. As your eyes adjust to the light, you suddenly feel your urine freeze in your bladder as you come face to face with a horrific amalgamation of withered, gray body parts grotesquely fused together. It's clear to you now that the limbs collected from the crypts and corpses of others have been harvested and somehow assimilated into this creature, giving it mass. Indeed, you see Hort's lifeless and scalpless head bulging from the creature's girth like a ripe hemorrhoid. While it has no working eyes that you can see, the creature nonetheless appears aware of your presence as it lifts its bulbous mass on a collection of legs and flails lifeless arms in your direction. But before you can draw your weapons to defend yourself, you see Frezzo emerge from behind the corpse harvester. He is still clothed in soiled wedding attire, and his eyes appear glassy and crazed. He licks his lips disturbingly and turns to the creature and says, "Behold, great champagne! Here are the souls I have promised. My payment for your assistance murdering Hort is satisfied." And with that, they pull out their weapons, or Hort pulls out his weapon. As he pulls out his weapon, there are several other bodies on the ground here that begin to somehow animate and jerk wildly and stand up and move in your direction as Samhain begins this large amalgamy of body parts starts moving in your direction as well. So with that, I'm going to have everyone go ahead and roll initiative for this one. Highest initiative goes first, and then we just go clockwise around the table from there. So pick your highest initiative character and roll it. All right, we've got an 11, a 4, and a 6. And for these guys, looks like a +1. All right, looks like our Red, our Halfling Mariner, your party is going first. So it'll be red, purple, the enemies, and then around to blue. So
How many enemies do I see, sorry?
So you see the large amalgam of body parts. You see Frezzo, basically the brother of the groom who got beheaded. And you see 2 other animated bodies.
What does Frezzo have for weapons?
Frezzo has on him a short sword.
I would like to have my outlaw. Can we assume that the outlaw took the time to fix a weapon in the chamber while everyone was playing with the larvae and the air queen?
I would have to say that down inside this chamber, give me a luck check to see if you had what you needed to fix it.
Okay.
Yep, you were able to fix your weapon.
Great. But does Frezzo look armored?
He does not look well armored. He's basically wearing like whatever he was wearing at the wedding.
Okay. What I'm going to have her do is run up to Frezzo and bash him in the head with non-lethal damage. I want to knock him out.
All right.
With the club.
Man, rolling well on that. Actually, that should be 6 points of damage. Your strength is +2. So that should be 6 points of damage. Okay, but a 16, definitely plenty. You run up, smack him in the head, doing 6 points of damage. And you see his crazed eyes suddenly start to look off into the distance and roll in the back of his head, and he collapses to the ground.
Great. The minstrel, he doesn't really have much health. He's going to grab his dagger and throw it at one of the animated creatures.
Okay. Hey, 19. Man, rolling well. 1 point of damage to that creature as it's shambling towards you guys.
And seeing this, the halfling moneylender will run up to that same creature and stab it.
Oof. Very good. All right. 4, and the Halfling Mariner has a +1. So I'm not sure why these are giving you extra bonuses on all this stuff, so that should be a 5 points of damage. All right. 5 points of damage for a total of 6 to that creature, and it is still shambling towards you guys. All right. Up to the Miller Baker, who just joined the party. Looks like he wants some revenge for being captured and cocooned.
Yes. Do I see any signs of intelligence in this creature's eyes, in Hort's eyes?
Hort's eyes, because his head is attached to this creature, are kind of like gray, milky, kind of like glazed over. You don't see any kind of recognition from it.
I'm afraid I must put you out of your misery. Husband. So, pitchfork attack right in Hort's face.
All right, you go up to stab the corpse harvester right in Hort's face with a 17 is plenty to hit.
We're supposed to be retrieving his head. I forgot about that. That's all right.
The Miller Baker. Again, it gave you an extra +1 for some reason, so that is going to be 5 points of damage to the large corpse harvester. All right. With that, everything else is going to get their turns. So the corpse harvester is going to... Let's see, I don't think it only gets 1 attack. Oh, no, it gets 2 actions. All right. So its first attack is going to be against the person that attacked it, the Miller Baker. So that is going to be... As one of the arms basically comes around and tries to club you. An 11 versus the Baker does just hit, and that is probably going to put him down for 7 points of damage. The Baker wasn't in the fight for very long. All right.
At least you got to hit him.
Right. It'll
At least you
move
gotta hit him.
forward and look to attack the next victim. So again, there are 6 of you alive. This is going to be versus the minstrel as it goes charging forward at the minstrel. That is going to be a 18 to hit. I know that hits. And that is going to do 3 points of damage to the minstrel, which I believe puts the minstrel down as well.
Yep.
All right. With that,
BK.
the two bodies that have been animated will move forward. One of them will attack at the Whitegrass family, attacking our barrister. Moving to the barrister. This is going to be... They have a +1 on their attack. That is only a 5, so it is going to miss. And then the second attack... Either the Mariner or the Outlaw. Looks like the Outlaw is going to get attacked. And that is for 16. That is definitely going to hit. Not one. D5. D5 is going to be 2 points of damage to our Outlaw. And the Outlaw goes down as well.
Yep.
All right. Frezzo's unconscious, so with that, we are back up to the top of the order. Elvin, you're up.
Technically the bottom of the order, but it seems
bottom.
the same.
Yep.
Down here. Yeah, we'll concentrate on the big guy, and we're just going to go wild. These guys have 1 HP, so he's going to fire his navigator fires his short bow at the big monstrosity. Prepare to burn all of your luck, people. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, there you go. All right. So with the
That's more
short bow attack, you rolled a 6. This was the navigator, so let me just double check. Your agility or your strength is +2, so that'll actually be 8 points of damage. Roll that D3 for that additional damage.
Wow.
11 points of damage to this guy.
Unbelievable.
And he wants to add on to that, too.
Go ahead.
Add 4 more points off his luck.
All right. That will be enough, and you take down this creature with that arrow shot. You somehow just released an arrow in the most opportune location, and you see the body starting to flail around a bit and struggle to keep up on the tiny legs underneath this bulbous body. Seem to not be enough to keep it up, and it's stumbling, crashing against the wall and stumbling and falls down, and the arms kind of reach out, flailing randomly, and then go limp. And you see all of the faces that are on this body as well. The mouths open up as if into a scream and then close. And the body seems to be no longer moving. But the 2 other animated corpses are still coming.
All right, the barrister will attack the one that tried to attack him with his mighty quill.
A 13 for 3 points of damage. And that will definitely hit. But it is still coming.
Yeah, and then we'll have... Yeah, I don't want to keep burning luck. That's a cheap trick. But so the artist will run over and hit him with the staff.
All right.
And and he'll burn 4 points of luck to get to an 11.
You only need to burn 2 points of luck. A 9 will hit these things.
Excellent. So he will do that for 2 points of damage.
For 2 more points of damage. All right. So one of these guys has taken 6 damage. The other's taken 5, and they are still coming.
All right. That's all the elves.
All right. Our halfling mariner.
How did you say the outlaw will kill?
The outlaw was killed by was it the corpse harvester?
So what was like just brute force?
Yeah. An arm came through, and basically, like, one of the arms from this creature just came and just clobbered her and crushed her skull with a mighty blow.
So there's absolutely no way I could attempt to revive her?
Nope, unfortunately.
Oh. Looking back, he's desperate. He wants to do something, but he knows there's nothing. So he just charges at one of the enemies in front of him.
Oh,
Fumbles again.
All
Is that
right.
fifth fumble?
Your incompetent blow makes you the laughing stock of the party, but otherwise causes no damage. So you go to attack the creature and trip and fall and swing wildly and kind of do like a curtsy kind of spin, and then land there standing, and everyone kind of looks at you with a bit of amusement. But they probably don't let out any laughs, as the situation's a bit too dire for that. And with that, we are up to just the 2 wounded but still coming animated corpses here. So versus the white grass, that is going to be versus our navigator. This is going to be +1 again. That is only a 4. And then I will roll randomly for the second one. Is going to attack our barrister. So our barrister. That is going to hit. That is an 18.
Oh.
The barrister takes 1 point of damage and goes down.
Which is enough.
Yeah. You're like, roll the die, but yeah.
It's like, maybe this thing has a negative modifier? I don't know.
I should have burned my log!
All right. That is both of them having acted, so we are back up to blue.
All right, the artisan will come over and hit the one that killed the barrister, and he is definitely going to kill him unless he fumbles. The staff. Oh, dang it, 5.
5 will miss.
Yeah, he's going to have to let that stand. And then the navigator will come in and fire his short bow.
Let's go.
So they'll die.
Yes.
That will hit for 1 point of damage. We'll finish off one of these creatures.
Excellent.
So just the one left. Halfling Mariner, can you take him down?
The halfling mariner grabs the outlaw short sword and uses that to attack.
All right.
Oh, lovely.
Feeling mighty brings in a mighty blow. Go ahead and roll that d6, and it'll be a +1.
+1.
7 points
amazing.
of damage. You cleave off this creature's head. As the 2 bodies collapse to the ground, you see the whatever's left of the chest, flesh begin to tear open, and a swarm of these strange insect-like creatures come swirling out of these 2 dead bodies.
What?
On their way out, I need a reflex save from all 3 people that are in this chamber.
There's only 3 people left alive?
Yep, the Elven Artisan, the Navigator, and the Mariner.
You said reflex?
Yep, reflex save.
They'll burn. Well, the artisan will burn 3 luck to get to 12.
Okay.
The halfling moneylender will do the same.
Okay, so the Halfling Mariner will do the same. All right, so you guys are both at 12, so 12, 12, and 20. All right, as these creatures swarm out, they attempt to bite at you. So this is what you're trying to save against, is this attack. They roll a 2. So your saves were plenty. All right. So with that, they swarm about, biting at everyone in the area, and then go out of the cavern on their way out. So at this point, you see Frezzo unconscious, laying on the ground. The large corpse harvester, this amalgamy of flesh and body parts, which I forgot to share with you. Let me just show you why. Why not? Let's see. Ooh. Where is he at? There it is. Drop that and share it. There you go. That should have popped up for you. That was the amalgamy creature that you saw. If I didn't mention it, I forgot that the ant's head was also on there. The ant queen's head. God. So that is the creature that was there and attacked you.
Oh my god.
All right. So as this dead creature before you, no longer moving, Frezzo, unconscious on the ground beside you, and everything seems quiet.
The halfling will take this opportunity to walk up to Frezzo, and he'll just start beating him out of anger. Not trying to kill him, just trying to really, really hurt him.
Kicking him in the side and beating on him. All right. Does either of the Whitegrass family members try to stop the halfling from beating on this guy who seems to be coming back into consciousness now?
No. In fact, that was like, if I had him in the bottom of initiative, I was going to shoot him, and then you're like, non-lethal damage. I was like, oh, that would have been a good idea. So no, go for it.
You beat on him, and eventually he kind of curls over into the fetal position and is trying to protect himself and begging for you to stop. He says, stop. I was under its control. I didn't want this.
Tell that to the authorities.
If you stop beating on him, you see him roll over, and you can see, like, in his face, like, he is distraught.
I don't know if that's better. He's holding, like, the elves are holding their dead old barrister elder, and he's looking at him. He's like, I don't know if that makes it better or worse, if you're stupid or evil.
Please, let me live. I must make amends.
Oh, we're going to let you live. I was just going to let the halfling beat on you for a while.
I am so sorry. And you can see he's like bawling at this point, just crying.
Let's get our wine and get our head and get our prisoner and get out of here.
He said, hold your horses. And make sure he's restrained properly, and then he says, "We should bury our dead before we leave."
You all can absolutely do that. Spending a bit more time this time to give them, more proper burials. You know that the three of you aren't going to be able to carry these bodies out of here, but you'll know where they are if anybody wants to come back and get them and have a proper ceremony for them in the future. Yep. So you guys spend some time burying them. You're able to cut. You're able to cut the head of Hort off of the corpse collector's amalgamy of body parts, and get that back. And anything else you are gathering, you're able to get the wine on the way out. But anything else from down here?
Obviously, we'll cut off Hort's head and we'll pack that up. Yep. The halfling will take one last swig of the Brandolyn wine, and he'll say, "Forgive me for not being strong enough to defend my companions."
All right. As you drink again, roll me another D5.
D4 or D6?
D5. 1, you are imbued with another D3 of temporary hit points.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys make your way back up, you're able to take this large jug of Brandolyn Red and carry it back to town. As you make your way back to town, you meet up with Lotrin Whitegrass, and the whole wedding party is there. So you have a couple options of what you can do now. You have the head is going to be paid for by the father of the groom. So I got to remember what his name was again. Here we go. Sir Hort Leddy. He pays you all a fairly handsome amount. Most of you are basic workers, so gold's not something you come across too often. But he pays you each 10 gold. Actually, there's only 3 of you left alive, so he'll pay you each 30 gold. He had this dowry that he was going to pay with. He's going to give it to you guys instead. So 30 gold pieces each for the return of his son's head. Going over to the Whitegrass, you are able to give him the barrel of Brandolyn Red. And this was worth 75 gold pieces, so it's 150 gold pieces that he pays for this barrel of the wine. And you can see on his face, like, as he takes it and pays this, like, he is... As soon as he has it, he stops paying attention to you at all, and is like, you see again 1 or 2 milky tears come out of his eyes. And that is basically everything that happens. So I'll let you know a couple things that happen after the adventure. Frezzo, as you let him go, overtaken with grief, he will end up, unless closely monitored, will end up committing suicide within 2 nights.
Oh, no.
Would that be on us? Because we're not monitoring. We're just giving him to these crazy family members.
Nope, not on you guys. You have no guilt with that. You didn't go find Brandolyn's remains. So there's something you could have found those and done something with those for another reward here at the end. But basically,
the old creepy elves apparently wanted the Brandolyn's bones.
Yes.
Was she in the house?
She was in a separate building.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and I can just show this to you guys now that we're basically over the adventure. Let me go ahead and I can show you kind of, because I just love how they do the maps and everything for DCC stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So Longbow Vineyards, just drop that in there and share it. Okay, so you guys enter from the top left of the map, 1-1. You guys went right, stage right, or is that stage right or whatever? So you went to 1-3, around to the statue, continued through 1-4, made your way towards 1-7, where you saw the stone blocking the cave entrance. Went into 1-7, the actual barn building where the wine press was. Building 1-6 was the abandoned house, and in 1-6, basically the upstairs is just like completely ruined and falling apart, but there is a stairway that leads down. Here you could have found some like old letters from lovers that give you some clues to different things, and then down below you find
Brandolyn, perhaps?
Why am I missing? I think I got the wrong page. There we go. Oh, not if I grab the right page now. My pages are out of order since I was working through here. Where is 1-6B? Okay, there it is. The bottom is a wine cellar. So down at the bottom of the wine cellar, dust covered, all that kind of stuff. Then you could have found some more ceramic jugs with some basic wine, a bottle of Brandolyn Red, and Vintner family crest on a goblet. And then there's a creature down there that's pretty fun. And then you guys didn't go around to 1-10 or 1-5, because that would have been the opposite direction. You would have gone past this like pond, and then 1-10 is basically like the mausoleum. So the mausoleum's where you can find all the family crypts. 1-5, there's something in there that you can get, like some treasure in there, along with a creature. And then the other anthill at 1-11 is basically the same as the one you went down, just in a different area.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
where was Brandon located then?
her
110?
Yeah, 110. Yeah, her remains are there.
Oh, okay.
And the queen was that 2-5, and then the shambling corpse
Was 2-6.
thing is 2-6.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So you guys went one direction, missed a couple things, but I think we ran that with 3 hours roughly. Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad. All right.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks you, Shadow.
Hey,
Gotta go.
thank you guys for joining.
that's
Thanks for letting me practice on
Yep.
you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. That was great fun.
Yeah.
Cheers. Good luck with the con.
Yeah, I will be running the level 1. What are the ones I'm going to be running? I already have my notes written down here. I will be running at the convention. So I'll be running these as a practice before the convention as well. And the convention isn't until like May. But I'll be running the Shadow Under Devil's Reef. That's the level 1 horror adventure. We have the Night of the Bog Beast is the level 2. And the Web of All Torment is the level 3. So at some point, I'll be running those on here as well. And then additionally, I may run it before the convention as well. We're going to do a tournament module style one. So 3 of us are going to run 3 separate adventures. For this one, I'll be running the Shambling Undead. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have like 15 to 20 players. And we'll have 6 players at each table. Each player plays 1 0-level character. When they die, they get up and the next person comes in and plays the next character in line. And so you try to get your character to survive as many encounters. So anytime you have to roll for initiative, you get a check if you survive that. And you're trying to get as many survivals as possible. And whoever gets the most at the end of the convention or the end of the tournament wins. So that'll be a lot of fun. Lots of death in that one because we don't pull any punches.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
So cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you spending some time with me.
Yep. Cheers. Yep. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thanks for running.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this playthrough of the DCC Horror module, They Served Brandolyn Red. We had a fair number of peasants meet their end, and we will continue this series with a bit of Cthulhu-style horror in our next module, Shadow Under Devil's Reef. Please like and subscribe to be notified when the next video is posted, and we will see you next time.